adding because again, we want.
Oh, there we go.
1 second, guys.
Oh, no worries.
I was on the road when I said give me 5 minutes and traffic took a little longer,
Okay.
Good, all good.
but I literally just rolled into the appointment.
Goodness. All right. All good, dude. No worries.
All right, let's jump into it.
All right. I mean, hop straight into. I like I said, I told Chris like I don't have that much to show. It's literally a few slides. Chris, you gotta let me
Oh,
share.
no.
Um.
All right, you got it.
All right. Awesome. All right. Very brief, but this is just to show you guys. Okay, this is how exactly it's gonna go down. So we have basically we have the content, right? What are we gonna create? We're gonna create the podcast, right here. And then what we're gonna do is we also need to create specific short form education content on TikTok. So these are the two different types of content we're creating. We can't just create the podcast and have it repurposed to the short form content because it's just us communicating. We need to actually direct something toward the consumer, someone who's watching it. So this is where we come with the short form videos, like I explained. Like, okay, like I said, we want to introduce NFTs like it's if we're explaining them to a 10-year-old, right? So it's like, sure, everyone's heard of NFTs, but it's so basically I'm trying to say is like in the beginning, it's like what we should do is be like, all right, first video. So hey, you probably know what an NFT is or probably have heard of an NFT, but do you really know what an NFT is? Here, let me break it down. And then we kind of break it down in like whatever full form and just making, like I said, making it so that it's very easy to consume, right? To the most basic form. And then that's where we can repurpose the content. We can go back and forth. So what we do is we purpose that content that we create for TikTok and we add them to YouTube Shorts, right? We take that content and add it to YouTube Shorts. And then what we do is repurpose the content we get from the podcast and then create them into short form content on TikTok. We can also, which we didn't talk about was because I know you guys had full attention on like TikTok. I would also say Instagram and such. I don't know if that's for a different topic, but or if we want to get there. Chris and Rob, I don't know if that's something that you guys want to do because that's also one step closer to, I guess, when you get someone to go to these different places, that kind of solidifies that they are more invested in you. So if you are also into creating an Instagram, you can also use Instagram Reels and whatnot and it's the same thing. You just repurpose that. So it's very simple. And like I said, so like we had conversations. I was not able to go back to just like cut out anything yet. To be honest, I didn't spend that much time on this yet. Just because I wanted to explain this fully to you guys. Pretty simple that whatever topic we have, we can literally just condense it into 30 seconds to 1 minute, no longer than 1 minute at all, especially because we also want to repurpose this and take the best points and also put them on YouTube Shorts, and YouTube Shorts is only 1 minute. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then the last and final step is we have to reply and we have to engage with our audience, everyone that's commenting on our videos and everything like that. We need to like just have an ongoing conversation with the people that we're talking to, people who are watching our videos, all that stuff. Can we get them? Like, if you're like, hey, are you still confused about NFTs? Send me a DM, something like that. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So that's how you can like really root in that community factor and that trust factor. So there's one thing that I do recommend. I know you guys are more focused. One of the biggest focuses you guys have is creating that Discord community, right? I would hold off on the Discord server until we have 10K followers, because no one wants to join a Discord that has no people in it. No one wants to join. Like it becomes to the point, like when you see that there's no one in that Discord server, what happens is because it takes time for that Discord server to kind of develop, right? And what happens is if there's no one in there, if there's no activity in there, people tend to be like, all right, what is this? What's going on? I don't want to be a part of this anymore because there's no activity. There's no one here else to talk to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I would say first, our goal isn't to get 10K followers on TikTok. It's to just, I would say our goal should be like 10K is when we start the Discord, and then 100K is when or 50K, 100K is when it gets very serious. That's when it's like, oh shit, we've got this going. Does that make sense? And I'm telling you guys this from first-hand experience, that the first 10K is the hardest part. After that, it is exponential. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. I can share my own TikTok growth with you guys. I'm actually going to do that right now. This is literally the account that I am growing on my own right now. I have posted all the dates and all the numbers that I've gained. I started, so this is when I started actually logging it. So you see I had 69 just because I was like, you know what, this is funny, this is a funny number, let me screenshot it. And that's when I actually was like, you know what, I think I need to actually take notes of all the time, just my growth. I need to make sure that I'm keeping track of this, especially as someone who loves data and analytics and just being able to track stuff, right? I started this account on January 3rd. And it took me, I'm going to go very slow, just so okay. It took me about, you know what, one more day. It took me about, let's add one more. Boom. Okay. It took me 4 months to get to the 10K right now. And it's 3 days later. I've grown 10% of my following in 3. And actually, if this is what I put in this morning. You guys want to see the number right now? It's still growing. It's at 14.2K right now. I don't know if you can see it. Wait.
Yeah.
It's at 14.2K, if you can see that. And this, I recorded it this morning. So basically almost 42% in one day. I'm telling you, the first 10K is the hardest. After that, you grow so fast. So that's where I'm trying to get at. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys, that it will probably take some time with this, but once we get there, we'll get there. It'll keep going. So that's kind of why I wanted to pull this up and show you guys the numbers and everything. I can even screenshot and send you guys I don't know if I can send you the full month. I think I can. I can send you a full week, weekly report of that, of my statistics. I can send that to you if you guys want. And I'm telling you guys, it comes down to just being consistent, being able to post, and just posting all this content. And yeah, so that's it. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a bunch.
Yeah, for sure. Go for it.
So you had mentioned Instagram Reels, TikTok Shorts, posting to other platforms once we create the content for TikTok and repurposing it onto other platforms. You were asking our opinion on what route we want to go, if we want to post onto multi-platforms. But what would your recommendation be there?
I would be definitely to do cross-pollinate. It's simple. Why would you not want to grab as many eyes as you can?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And how many creatives per day or per week, or however, how many creatives do you recommend we create to grow this?
So I would say, to be completely honest, I would say one a day, minimum one a day. Yeah. Actually, that's funny. I didn't answer that quite. I should have answered that in here. Minimum one a day. And when we have content, when we have more podcasts going, a weekly podcast and all that stuff, there will be content. There will consistently be content. But when it comes to the original content the short form content we create, I would say we definitely need to we would have to kind of go out of our ways to kind of create this. Otherwise, if we're just making this podcast content, right? It's just that this is mostly just conversation. This isn't really directing anyone to anything. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
However, something like this, where it's one of us, it could be one day it could be me, one day it could be you, Christian, it could be Rob one day. If it's just us being like, hey, yeah, like I said in the beginning, like, hey, you probably heard of what an NFT is, but do you actually know what it is and and stuff like that? Just like
the Try Guys.
Literally, huh?
You ever seen those guys? The Try Guys?
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's like four of those guys, and they all have like their own personalities.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what's funny? One of those guys, I don't know if it was the one Asian dude who was like tall with like the crazy hair.
Yeah.
I saw him the other day at Jersey City. Yeah.
Oh, Jersey City. That's
he was at the Smorgasburg.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, shout out to him.
Right? Weird.
But yeah, I think that's cool. Like we could all post in our own ways and like have our own personalities.
Yeah.
Pretty much to say the same things and direct them to the same place.
Exactly. So what I definitely would recommend is we kind of have a structure or like an outline of like, and Rob, this is probably where you would probably have to come in, because from the most basic information to like, all right, where do you start, right? And where do we get the content? I like, what I can do is I can go back and finally watch that first podcast that we had, where you kind of explained everything to Christian, and I can pick apart some content from there, and we can really focus in, and then you can answer that specific question, and then I can basically script it and create a piece of content around that.
My last question was going to be, how do we source that content for you? Like, how do we pick out the snippets? How do we get the nuggets of gold to give to you to post?
How do you mean, like for the short form content?
Yeah, like plucking out the golden nuggets from the podcast.
Oh, from the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, I could do that. That's what I would do. If you guys want to go through the podcast and like you're like, whoa, this was like really interesting, something that I may not pick up. I think we could do this collaboratively. Like if we just go through the podcast and be like, hey, that was really good. Mark that, right? Not during creating the podcast, but like afterwards. Like Chris, I know you said you watched it like 3 times.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like did you find any gold nuggets? Like, did you think, oh, wow, that was interesting? Like, I really like that part. Mark it, right? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, honestly, every single one of them.
Yeah.
Every question that we asked.
Yeah.
Was a golden nugget.
Perfect. So like literally just like we can just go through the entire thing, break it down.
Yeah.
And create that into short form content. And then obviously like when there's like a little bit of fluff, get rid of that fluff.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, which here's another key, that long form content, like the short form, obviously I'm saying like the longer like time frames, like towards the end of the scale of like 45 seconds to a minute, is actually it's performing a lot better than the shorter form of content. Like between, the reason why they want people to stick to they want to basically, TikTok and YouTube want you to be glued to their screen, to their app, right? So what's gonna do that? A longer form of content, stuff like that. Yeah, and that's what I've noticed especially with YouTube. I've noticed that with TikTok. Yeah.
Okay, so I got it. So my main question would be, where are we sourcing the short form content?
Here.
From like are we taking out video pieces from the podcast, or are we making new creative?
No.
For the short form?
Yeah. So the original short, let me answer that question. This original short form content, right? So we can repurpose this. That's repurposed content. And then there's original short form content. The original short form content is something that we are literally directly talking to the viewer. Like, so we have to create that.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
can't
Gotcha.
source that from here, because if we just continue to source from here,
Yeah.
there isn't any kind of direction. We could do that, but this would have just the lack of quality
Mhm.
in our form of podcast
Yeah.
is like I said, there are people who are doing podcasts who can literally sit inside the same room with high quality cameras and stuff like that. That we're not going to beat that.
Got it.
We're not going to beat that. So what we have to do in order to beat that or be a kind of someone in there, we have to introduce better quality short form content that goes directly to the consumer. Yeah. Otherwise, like, yeah, what we could do is like we could consistently just take I'd say snippets from here, post them on TikTok. But I don't see it having as much of an impact as if we actually went out of our way a little bit and started creating these and scripted these, and same like Chris, same way that you made some of those ad videos, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But this stuff is like pretty, it's you can script it, right? And once you have the script, it's pretty much very simple from there, right? And the only way, like, I can be the one that can script it. All you have to do is literally just one of you guys just got to pick the topic, and then we kind of break it down. How can we talk about this topic in a minute? Right? So if we have the answers to that, it's very simple to script, and we go from there.
Rob, any thoughts?
Rob, you're muted.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, for me, for the next 1 to 2 months, I won't have any time outside of like the hour or so so I can show up and you guys tell me what to do and I'm perfectly fine with that, but I probably won't be able to spend more time outside an hour because I have to study. Otherwise I will be unemployed.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Like I said, like what we can do is kind of just what we can do is within that 1 hour that we have that podcast, we can literally just sit down and figure all this out.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with coming in. We
How
can do
about
like 10 shorts on an hour. I don't really care.
How about we
tell me what to do?
Yeah, how about we do that? How about we just instead of like that can be like the topic of our podcast or whatever, it could just be like strategy and okay, what content should we create? All right, what topics should we talk about in our shorts? All that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can do that. How does that sound?
I'm on board.
That's good.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that way, like, we're basically killing two birds with one stone. We're still talking about how we're doing stuff and how we're going to create this space and this community while creating that space and community, doing the I guess the dirty work of that. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. That can be the podcast episode. Next Sunday. We'll talk about
basically what the topic will be like. All right, so how our base literally content strategy, NFT content strategy. How the heck are we gonna get this all out there?
Yeah.
And then we literally say, okay, let's make a video on this. Boom. That's it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I will have some topic. I think I'll have some things ready for that day because I don't want to just be like by the end of it we have zero like I guess zero ideas for videos. Like I want to be like, all right, we have now have at least 10 like topics that we can cover in 10 videos, and we can break down the content of our other of the first episode of the podcast and use that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, dude. Before now, like I would say go through the first episode of this podcast. What the fuck is NFT? Go through it. Like just watch the whole thing. And then from that, we can start sourcing the creatives. Basically, we can have a 5-day lag or 5-week lag on the episodes so that we're able to build up content reserves And so we could start at episode 1 and let's just talk about creatives for episode. What
And
the
anybody who wants to get ahead will be like, oh shit, all their content's already up there.
Yeah.
Let me go binge and catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm all for it.
Sounds
That was
good.
All right.
easy. That was pretty
Perfect.
good.
All right.
Well done.
Awesome. Cool. So let's set it up for Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good for
And
Sunday.
Let's go from there.
Rob, does that still work for you? I know it's Easter.
Yeah, I should double check. I think I should be fine.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I forgot it was Easter too.
I forgot about that.
I'm pretty sure I'm fine. I don't think we're doing anything, but I'll check.
Yeah. Yeah. Check in on that. Come on, let me know as well.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. I mean, I don't celebrate Easter, so I don't really have any problem with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I usually don't, but if my mom or Christine says something, that maybe I might. But I'm pretty sure I'm not. I'll just check in when I get.
All right.
Cool.
She
We
gets
got
back.
12. We got 12 o'clock noon blocked off. If anything changes, let us know. If you can't make it, and then we can always reschedule.
Look at that, guys. I just hit 12. I said 14.2. I'm already at 14.3 now.
This man's fucking famous.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, it's exponential. I literally gained almost 50% of my growth in one day. And it took me freaking 4 months to get from 0 to 10K.
Dude. That's fucking legit.
It's a little bit of spice, a little bit of luck, and a lot of consistency. All right, yeah.
All right, guys. Anything else you guys
Awesome.
want to talk about?
No.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, good shit, Aman.
Awesome.
Let's connect Sunday
do
and let's
it.
talk more about it.
Perfect.
All right. Peace, guys.
Awesome. All right. Peace, guys.